Well, today, Peter Christian and Henry Blofeld are both dressed in Australian colours, green and gold, to celebrate another overwhelming Australian victory. They won by 8 wickets in Brisbane and deserved their success in every possible way. But English supporters will be glad to hear that Peter Christian also provided many other wonderful garments in other colours. To see them, all you have to do is go on to the Peter Christian website, and when you push in your order, when you send in your order, mention the code word blowers and you will get a free delivery. Well, England fought on quite hard on this fourth day, but the result was never remotely in doubt. If you remember at the start, they were still 43 runs behind Australia, but they only had 4 second innings wickets in hand. But the first 2 of those, the captain Ben Stokes, as always, and Will Jacks, who has played so well in this match, they fought on, they took their stand, the 7th wicket stand, to 96, and they stayed together, first of all, until the lunch interval. They had 59 in the morning. It was slow going, but they showed patience and they fought on in a way that so many of the more glamorous batsmen higher in the order failed to do. And the stand, in fact, ended midway through the afternoon when Nisa was bowling with his wicketkeeper, Alex Law, standing up to the stumps, and Jacks nibbled at one. It may just have left him. It got the edge, and an amazing low left-handed catch by Steve Smith at first slip. It was one of those catches, a catch in a million, and of course Jacks knows all about that. He took an amazing catch to get Smith out himself, so it was, sort of snip-snap, wasn't it? I mean, they both did exactly the same, one to the other. Well, after that, Stokes was caught behind. Very often as a Venus are a very, very good catch. Standing up. Alex Carey, I said Lees a moment ago, it was Alex Carey, of course, the wicketkeeper, and Alex Carey was in brilliant form. He was absolutely outstanding in this match, and he made 60 runs too, so he played a very big part in this Australian victory. Interesting, Nisa likes his wicketkeeper standing close, just as England's best bowler in the immediate post-war years, Alec Bedser, who was a real star. Don Bradman reckoned the best English seam bowler he faced. He always liked his keeper, Godfrey Evans, standing close to the stumps. And then after that, Gus Atkinson came in and played a rather feeble stroke. They set the field back for the hook stroke, and he just tamely hooked the ball or slapped it to Smith again at mid-wicket. And so he went cheaply. And then in the end, it was Smith again who took the catch that ended Cass's innings at first slip. So Smith, 3 catches. What a tremendous performance by him. Although, fun enough, for the next Test match, he's going to, I think, have to give way to Cummins, who has been unfit but is now mended, and he will be leading the Australian side in Adelaide. But Smith has done a very good stand-in job, winning the first 2 Test matches by overwhelming margins. Well, Australia then had to get 65. It was a formality, wasn't it? Head started off at a great rate, but then Atkinson, who had bowled well in the series so far, but without any luck, had made Head chop onto his stumps. And then a moment or two later, he had one that lifted a little and caught the edge of Labuschagne's bat, and he was caught behind, and Australia were 2 down. But Steve Smith came in, who else, and had a ding-dong battle with Jofra Archer. Archer really worked up a great head of steam, 93 miles an hour most of the time. He bowled short to Smith, and Smith took him on, hooked him for 6, pulled him for 4, and they had words, and then he hooked him for 6 again. They had more words, and it was good-spirited stuff, and something really has been lacking in the series so far. And when afterwards asked in an interview what they had said, Smith very sensibly and tactfully as ever said, "What was said stays on the field." Well, it was good to see a little bit of banter, a little bit England really getting their dander up. And what is going to happen now? Australia 2-0 up, We've got Adelaide to come in a few days' time, next week. Then after that, it's the Boxing Day test in Melbourne, and then the New Year test match in Sydney. The pitches there will be easier. There'll be spin, and Nathan Lyon, who of course was left out. And I thought it was a mistake, and I think a lot of people did. But it was entirely justified. And of course today, Nisa, the Queensland bowler, who may well now stand down to make room for Cummins, took 5 wickets. And well done him. It was a great performance. And another tremendous feather in Australia's cap. Well, England lost this match because they simply didn't produce the cricket at the crucial moments. I mean, the catching, look at Smith's catch today, look at Labuschagne's catch at the end of the first innings when England resumed that day at 325 for 9, and Archer and Root had batted so well the night before, adding 61. And they added 9 more when Archer hit the ball high into the outfield, and Labuschagne took an absolutely brilliant catch on the leg side boundary. And that was the end of it. Had they scored another 30 or 40 runs, England would then have been up to 360, 70. And who knows quite what would have happened, how the Australian batsmen would have gone about it. Anyway, it was very much Australia's match. What are England going to do? I think there is no doubt, and Stokes was saying this at the end, although in interviews they have to be very guarded so as not to be too insulting and all the rest. I understand that entirely. And he said, it is in the mind. There's an enormous amount of ability and skill in the England dressing room. Look at them all, Brooke, Duckett, Crawley, Pope. And yet, what's happening? They're just getting out, aren't they? They aren't. It must be in the mind because they are good enough players, and we know that. How are they going to change the thinking? How are they going to make? For instance, it was Duckett. It was Pope, and then Crawley, who gave those by playing bad drives, attempted drives at balls on the up. Which they just got over the period of Stark in the second innings. Stark had gone off after his first spell, and they pushed them back, and they gave Nisa 2 caught and bowled chances, which he took. They were bad strokes, and Brooke again played another naughty one, didn't he, outside off stump. There's no need for such talented players to do this. The other thing is, where are they in the field? England's fielding was lamentable. They dropped those 5 catches. The bowling was poor, particularly on the first day. They were all over the place. Why do experienced bowlers suddenly get it all wrong? It's in their mind. I think it has to be in their mind. But one of the things in the field that I noticed, and Matt Pryor made this point on television at the end of the day, where are the leading players? Only Root really gives Stokes the support. Duckett, Brooke, and Pope. Brooke, the vice-captain, Pope, who has been vice-captain. Are they buzzing around, talking to the captain, going up to players, tapping them on the back, saying, well, stop, or when misfielding, go up to them and say, well, don't worry. You don't see any activity by the senior players, any support. And this is sad. This, I suppose, is one of the reasons the England team's spirit looks so down on the field. And I really think it is a big worry. But at the end of the day, a brilliant Australia. They were absolutely magnificent, very well led by Smith, who we know is an experienced captain, but of course lost the job because of that ball tampering business in South Africa back in 2018. The Australians bowled well, led by Stark, who's now taken 18 wickets in the series, and was man of the match for the second test in a row. Well done him. It was thoroughly deserved. All the Australian batsmen in the first innings made double figures, which has only happened 3 or 4 times in the history of Test cricket. You can't see this England side all getting double figures at the moment, can you? They've got England now just over a week before Adelaide. They're going off to Noosa on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland for 4 days. You wait for it, golf, yes. McCullum, the manager, says they trained probably too hard after the defeat in Perth. Well, that may be so, but my goodness, the press are going to make a meal of this one, isn't it? I'm not certain he was. Anyway, I do know what McCullum means, that they had worked very, very hard and perhaps too concentrated, but nonetheless, I have to explain that one, aren't they? They need to work, but they need to think and to rethink. And can Stokes and McCullum organise a change of mind in the England side? It's a very big ask. Anyway, there we are. Peter Christian in Australian colours, Henry Blofeld in Australian colours. Well deserved. Congratulations, Australia. You deserve every way to be 2-0 up, and he would be a brave man who's going to suggest you're not going to win the series and keep the Ashes. Well done, you.